they jailed him to shut him up over the bad things. I don't know what makes me say that. I really don't. It's not like I'm like, hey, here's the 5 reasons why I'm right about this. I don't really have one. It is just a gut feeling. But I got a few of those this morning. Oh, always trashing Biden, won't trash this guy, won't talk about this. Like, yes, I will. Sometimes people will write something like that. I'm like, you realize I got a 4-hour show to do today, tomorrow, and the next day. I also have another show to do on another radio station today. If I haven't talked about it, it doesn't mean I'm not talking about it. It means I haven't gotten there yet. That's all it means. Well, I might not talk about stuff. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It all depends on, what's going on, what I feel like, what you guys feel like, what the big story of the day is. I'll say it until they put me into the ground. Yes, I know I don't want to be buried. Sorry, Tim, I'll stop saying it. I'll say it until my life ends. I don't know how anybody listens to me 3 times and thinks I'm afraid of anything. Like, I don't understand that at all. I'll trash my own management. I'll trash my own, the people I date. I will take them and throw them under the bus and drive that bus over her every last chance I freaking get. I will create nothing but havoc in my life, both at where I work and my home, to do this radio show. You think I'm afraid to mess with the ice cream eater and this idiot who can't stay off of a social media app nobody uses? You're out of your mind. Welcome back to the program. Score a $1,000 keyword at 10 a.m. with Teresa. She has the second opportunity for you to score some cash this morning. We'll continue those all day. By the way, another set of, a 4-pack of tickets for Sonic Temple with me tomorrow. Those approaching about $1,000 when you go all 4 days there, and you have 4 passes. So we'll make sure you get hooked up tomorrow morning on the program. All right, I saw this yesterday, and it went a little viral. I'm not sure why. It's not necessarily the nicest thing I've ever seen, but I don't think it's as bad as it was made out to be. Barbara Streisand, apparently, and Melissa McCarthy. I don't know if they, people are saying, oh, they kind of got into it. And it's like, that's not really what happened. Barbara Streisand just said something that people feel was like, oh, you don't do that. That's not PC enough. Which, of course, could get us into the angle of, look, man, they just eat their own. Because, Barbara Streisand's been out there for 10 years telling you, don't say this, don't do that, don't do this, don't support him, don't give your money over here, don't do that, you're awful, you're secretly a Nazi. All of this, she's been one of those, right? And so Melissa McCarthy, some of you will know her from, was it Bridesmaids, Mike and Molly? She's been in a bunch of things, and she is a funny person for like television shows and movies like that. I've never seen her do stand-up, but she does know how to get a laugh. For sure, right? And Melissa has, I don't want to say struggled with her weight because I don't really know. I haven't heard her talk about it extensively. I'm sure she has, but I haven't heard it. But she had once upon a time been a bigger size than she happens to be right now. And there's what I will call a new drug. It's not really all that new, although people are talking about it now more than ever. Ozempic. And it's an injection you can take, and it helps with weight loss. There are some other negative headlines out there right now. Men are finding out it's leading to more erectile dysfunction, to which I'll say there's no point of being skinny if your penis isn't going to work. The only reason a man wants to be skinny is so a woman will have sex with him. That's it. You think men are out there trying to live longer? You're out of your mind, baby. We're trying to get some more strange. That's what we're looking for. So give us that Ozempic, right? And it has been a little bit of a cheat code for some people who are looking to lose weight. It is a little bit of a cheat code. Some professional golfers have been using it. Looking at you, Phil Mickelson, you're about 80 pounds lighter than you were a couple of months ago. It's like that. You've been working out with a trainer for 10 years, Phil. We know, buddy. Like, we know. I've watched that Bon Jovi Thank You Goodnight docu-series. Their manager, Doc McGee, who has had all of your favorite bands at some point. He had Motley Crue, he had Kiss, he had Bon Jovi. He's kind of one of those guys. And so I've known of Doc McGee for a long time. He is like half the man he used to be in size, and you can tell. There's a look that happens. As a matter of fact, so many people in Hollywood are dealing with what they call Ozempic face. Apparently it'll have your face drooping a little over the use of it. I'm not sure what will do that. So here's what happened. Melissa McCarthy posted a photo on Instagram with a director friend of hers. And she kind of captioned it, hey, this is where we are. This is why we're wearing these colors. It's pastels or whatever. And, this and that. And Barbara Streisand wrote in a comment, give him my regards. Did you take Ozempic? And people jumped up and down on Babs. How dare you ask her that? You don't do that. A woman should know better. I'm confused about that one. Like, if a man asks another man if he took Ozempic to lose weight, nobody's going to talk about that. There seems to be this sisterhood thing that they have that dudes don't really have. Our brotherhood is, yeah, dude, I can't stand my wife either. Right? Like, that's the brotherhood of men. Yeah, dude, I'm married and I can't stand the lady. Want to play golf on Sunday morning? Me too. I got to get out of this house. That's the brotherhood. That's the end of that one. Right? Like, that's really the end of that. There's this sisterhood thing out there where they all got to protect one another. It seems like a weird situation to me, because to me what you're saying is a woman can never be critical of another woman, which I don't think is a good system. But she wasn't being critical. She asked a question. Is it so crazy to ask people how they got the result they have? Is that crazy? Let's be honest. Barbara Streisand, not necessarily the thinnest lady you've ever seen in your life these days. Couldn't she have just been asking, like, hey, maybe that worked for her, maybe it'll work for me? It could have just been that. I don't quite get this. You're not allowed to ask people how they lost the weight. If it were kettlebells, dieting, working out, all of that, it would be, she's a fierce warrior who did it this way. But because I think these people are telling on themselves for thinking what Barbara Streisand did was bad. I think you're judging people who use Ozempic, and so you think this was judgment by her when she asked the question. I think that's what's happening. Also, I think sometimes people who take this can get a little emotional about the fact that they take it. I had a little bit of a dust up with my favorite coworker of all coworkers I've ever had in my life, just this week over this issue. Because I had said, I think some people are using it as a cheat code. And they are, it's working. They are doing that, that's fine. That person felt like I was maybe saying that about them personally. I was not. Again, it's my favorite coworker I've ever had. I would not go out of my way to start a fight with that person. I love that person dearly. I literally just apologized for this like 20 minutes ago in the hall, because I had not seen them since that argument had happened. I think sometimes people get a little emotional and they feel called out by what is happening, but that's not really what the deal is. To me, this was Barbara Streisand being interested in something, asking the question, and she thought, I'm one of the good ones. I've been preaching to everybody how they should act, how they should talk. Nobody's going to have an issue with what I'm saying. I'm one of the good ones. I voted for the right guy for president. I'm easily one of the good ones. You're not going to hate me, right? Welcome back to the program. Tomorrow, I'll have another 4-pack of tickets for Sonic Temple. 4-pack. Pretty good. Disturbed, your first night headliner, then I think it's the Misfits, I think the second night there. It was pretty good, man. We were talking about concerts earlier, as a matter of fact, as Doja Cat said, don't be bringing kids to my shows. I rap about inappropriate things, and she does. Yeah, it's Disturbed, your first night headliner, then the original Misfits, Pantera, Slipknot. Those are your headliners. But Stained is playing, Breaking Benjamin, Starset, who's pretty good, a little underrated. Clutch is playing, wildly underrated, except by their fans. I had to stop wearing a Clutch hoodie because their fans, like everywhere you go, like, dude, Clutch! And then you got to have like a half-hour conversation. Baroness is playing, who I love. Machine Head's going to be there. Cypress Hill. Jeez. Yeah, I may have to use my tickets for Sonic Temple this year. I may have to head to that. Looking like it's pretty good. So we'll get you hooked up tomorrow on those. I did see this, and I am not surprised by it. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson apparently is a handful to deal with on movie sets. They're calling out, this is interesting, he's been called out for his work ethic, which is crazy, because like that's his brand. Like if you follow The Rock, Dwayne, whatever you want to call him, on socials, it's I only have a cheat meal once a month. I'm in the gym at 4 a.m. I'll outwork you, blah, 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 like every other physical influencer ever. And so, like, his work ethic is part of his brand. And I mean, it's baked into what has made him popular. But apparently, they're calling out also the lack of professionalism. The Wrap is who had published this first. This back on Tuesday, that the accused movie star and UFL co-owner is now being accused of various violations, including bad behavior, shady practices, and another. Various sources and insiders accuse Johnson of, quote, chronic lateness and lack of professionalism that has caused the budget for his next film, Red One, to balloon to $250 million. The article quotes other sources on other films and productions that tell similar stories of Johnson's lack of care for crews and their time. They also claim that rather than using a public restroom, that The Rock would often pee in a bottle and give it to a production assistant or other members of his team to dispose of. Now, other sources do deny that claim. Now, could I see The Rock doing that in a gym? Like, he obviously has a gym that he put in his home, right? Could I see him do, it probably has a bathroom in it too, but could I see him doing that to shortcut it? Sure. This is how hard I work. Can't have any slowdown on the minutes. I already got the heart rate up. Can't have the heart rate down. Urinate in this Aquafina bottle. Get tough, right? Like, I could absolutely see him being one of those. I'm cooking, you're smelling it, or whatever the hell he's talking about always. And so I could see that, but dude, handing a bottle of urine to somebody at a movie set in 2024, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, he knows, after what happened with Hawaii, right? After what happened when he was like, yeah, I don't know about these Democrats right now. And they were like, get out of our club. Get out of our club. We're a cult and nobody knows. So get out of our club. After those two things happen to that guy, you think he goes, you know what? After all that drama, let me just, urinate in this bottle and hand it to this loser over here. I don't know about that one. That one feels like a little bit of a stretch. Being late? Welcome to Stars. Welcome to Stars. You know how many times I've sat at a concert, like, is this idiot showing up? Is this going to happen? I'm sure movie stars, I'm not coming out of my trailer. I didn't have this catered well. You need to give me this. I'm not coming out. And beyond that, if the issue is him being late, which I think this is an easy guesstimation on how that happens, he does make himself one of the busiest people in entertainment today, right? I mean, again, he's the co-owner of the UFL, for crying out loud. He's a movie star. He's got podcasts he's doing. He's got all kinds of, he's got his hands in all kinds of stuff. Isn't he back in the WWE a little bit? I mean,